We were all doing a tour of the library here and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Passage of Time. I don't have a lot to get through today, but I know I've got a special guest on because part of today we're going to be talking about what happened, men. What happened to you all? But really, seriously, what happened? I have a letter and from one of my fans, and maybe just a reminder. I know, Flying Dutchman, last week that you said, check your inbox. You got an email. I checked all my inboxes. I didn't get an email. So I'm going to put this up here. There it is. That's the email. That's the official Gmail account. It's professional. So it's Waffles Whiskey, not Waffles and Whiskey. So it's Waffles Whiskey at gmail.com. Send me an email there. I'll put it up at the end of the screen as well. And then you can send me another email if you like. Do I have a lot to get through today? Not really. I'm just looking at my thing. Obviously, you're very aware of the Epstein files, the 3 million of them, and some things have been heavily redacted. And there have been ways that you can unredact a lot of the photos. I was on Instagram just early this morning, just doom scrolling, and I noticed somebody said, life hack, here's how you can watch all the videos. Not that you want to, but those videos are there. So that has been a major part, and I don't want us to get a little bit what they call fatigued. You know how you get, Black Lives Matter fatigue or black fatigue and black fragility. I don't want us to get fatigued on what those horrible people that had done horrible things to children on Epstein Island. So let's be very clear. Let's not get fatigued about that thing. And I'm very surprised that really only 2 people have been made, accountable for their actions, and that's Prince Andrew. Really, he hasn't even been made accountable. He's just been ostracized from his royal duties. And Ghislaine Maxwell, who is living it up in a holiday camp somewhere in the US of America, and no one else, not one person, because we know the Democrats won't be pointing the finger over at the Republicans, because that will then expose the Democrats, and the Republicans won't be exposing any part of the Democrats because that will then expose the Republic. So I think the whole thing is just a mess. I don't want to be a part of any of that. I've seen lots and lots of videos that have come through, and I think it's just, it's reprehensible what those horrible people have done. And what we all thought that may have been a bit of a conspiracy has all come true. We'll also have a look at what Trump had posted. Trump had posted something very smart. If you've been on the internet, you would have scrolled through and you would have seen. We're going to show that today. We're also going to have a look. There's a question about next weekend. So I want to talk about next weekend. But really, what is next weekend? As an example, I think it's the 13th of February, right through to the 1st of March. It is going to be the Gay Mardi Gras here. Not so much in Queensland, but it's going to be in Sydney. It's a happening place down there. We're also going to have a look at Billie Eilish. I have the original video of what Billie Eilish had really said, because the one that you saw was all fake. That was all fake. So I have the original one. It's been sent to me. And then we'll have a look at a couple of funny things. But our main story today is the reason I wanted to do this, because there was a woman who had posted up something about men. What happened to you? Why are you all so toxic? So I want to go through that and then bring our special guest on, and she will talk a little bit more about what her findings were, because she posted something that I thought was something with regards to soy latte. Why do we drink soy? Why? Who drinks soy latte? So before we get started, let's get into. I just got a message from the Flying Dutchman. Not while I'm doing this. It's popping everywhere. There's noises coming everywhere. But I've got no weather today, so let's cheers the great man. There he is himself. And somebody just wrote up here, wow, you don't look much like your dad. He's my father. Why wouldn't I want to look like my father? I'd rather look like him than my mother. It's not a bad thing, but I love my father. And cheers to the great man. Can we all raise our glass also? I'm not drinking whiskey this week. I haven't been for the last week. I'm on a fitness regime, as you can see by this chiseled body of mine. But I want you to raise your glass. And also Black Rifle coffee. Has anyone seen or heard from, what's his name? Herbert Scranton III. Anyone seen or heard from him? I've reached out to him a couple of times. I haven't heard from him, but if you do, let him know that we are back on, and I'm drinking from his cup that he had sent me, and he also sent me some Black Rifle coffee, so I want to thank you so much. That's really nice. That's a good coffee. It's coffee. That's all it is. And then also somebody had also said, you don't look much like your dad, so see you, bye. Somebody had also put this one up here, got old. No shit. Well, what do you want me to do? You want a Benjamin Button go backwards? Of course I get old. Everyone gets old. Now my mouth's all frothy because I've got frothy coffee. We drink real coffee. We drink real coffee here. That's what we do. We drink real coffee. So, yeah, of course. Thanks, Mark Ringstead 9758. Get rid of your numbers. I've got a question about that too, getting rid of your numbers. That was 6 days ago, by the way. And then, and somebody else, which I think is the winning comment of the day, somebody wrote this. You're back. Thank fuck for that. Thank you, test pilot Ian. I'm thinking he is a test pilot. Now, we all do want to know is who was first. And let's have a look. G'day. G'day. There it is. Unboiled Frog was the first person that was on. Well done to the Unboiled Frog. I think I've even got it on here. Yep, I've even got it on there. Thank you, Unboiled Frog. I think she also wrote something like, I hope you've all got your wood chippers ready. I'll need to open up this letter. Let me just read where it's from. It's from J.O. You know who you are. And it's from Columbia City in Indiana, in the United States of America. It's got my address in there, but there's a big yellow, I'll see if I can hide it, but there's a big yellow mark right across there. And I don't know who put that mark, because when I asked J.O., and I said, did you put that there? He said, no. And I also noticed on the back that there's sticky tape. So this could be full of anthrax. Have no idea, J.O. Let's have a quick look. It's probably a Valentine's Day card, because next Friday or Saturday is VD Day. And so it's probably from J.O. Look at my strength. It's joy to the world. Huh. Hello, Joy. You're coming to the world? Oh, my God. I'm going to have to read that out later. It's been a highlight of my life to be able to say I have a friend in Australia. Bang, bang, bang. Gerald G-Man and Sir Rudy Porshman. This Christmas. This is a Christmas card? Did you say, oh, yeah, joy to the world. Look at the little Christmas thing. This only came back last week. This Christmas, may simple things like peace and love fill hearts with joy. Where is joy? Joy Behar from The View. Let's not. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Your friend from Columbia City, Indiana, USA, Earth, Milky Way. Very clever. J.O. Little presents down the bottom. I'm going to read this later, J.O. Thank you so much. We need to get into, we've got lots of things. Firstly, maps. You know how much we like maps. Not maths, but maps. So I need to ensure that we go to the correct place. There it is. We are in Australia. Now, I found this place. Somebody had sent me a map to go to. And of course, do you think when you sent it last week, it takes me a whole week to go scroll back to try to find what map you wanted me to get into. So what I want to do is I want to go into this place that when I was working on cruise ships, you know, as a young fella, 26 years of age, we went to this place here called New Caledonia. And we went through a little place called the Havana Bulari Passage, and then we went to Amity Island. And it was a cute little place, so I want to go all the way down to Noumea. There it is, the Amity Lighthouse. So we went through this passage, the good old Hannah Bulari's passage, right through there, and then Amity Island was in here. So we're going to have a quick look. It's a little island. Can you visit it? Apparently, yes. And I did a bit of a research on this. Little man can go there. So we might take little man and put little man, because I've done this before, and I had to save something because it made me think that maybe Google guy who runs around the place taking videos and footages of the places around the world, he is with someone. So we're going to go to this corner here, and we're going to see, boom, the corner there. There's little, he's wearing his Google hat map. And then this woman here, I want you to take note of this woman here with child. So this woman here, she's not really blurred out, is she? She's not blurred. And so I was wondering, who is this woman? Why isn't she blurred? So there's Amity Island on the Ile de Pin, Isle of Pines, it is called. And then there is another picture of her here. Here. So now there's two pictures on the different part of the island. So we can screw. And why aren't you allowed? I thought they were supposed to block that. Because if that was your wife or your girlfriend or your partner or your hoe, why are they allowed? Oh, his body has split. Why have they allowed to be able to show that? So that is not nice. But that's the Isle of Pine. That's where we went. And I think that's all I wanted to show you. We're back here now. Oh, why am I in this view? I don't like that view. But yeah, if you do have a place that you would like me to take you, I'll take you there anywhere. Isle of Pines, that's it. The Ile de Pin. Oh, that was so much hard work. And I need to go back to this screen here.
We were all doing a tour of the library here. And
nobody likes the passage of time. See, I keep forgetting to turn things off. Oh, we've had a request. I need to go into this request. Let me turn off maps first. There's been a request here. Hang on, maps turn off. Good. Waffles and Whiskey. If you're not a member of the Waffles and Whiskey fake book page, it's a private page. Waffles and Whiskey, jump on there. Anyway, I have redacted this person's name because it's a woman. And she says, greetings, friends. G-Man's requested that we get rid of the numbers that follow our names on the YouTube chat. Unfortunately, because I am a woman, I am terrible at doing this sort of thing. Would someone kindly give the instructions here so I can comply with the wishes of our leader? Thank you very much for your kind donation. And you might want to give her a hand or him a hand if somebody can jump onto the fake book page. So it's called Waffles and... I don't even know what it's called anymore. I think it's just called Waffles and Whiskey. Yeah, Waffles and Whiskey. You need to request it. You have to prove that you are a deplorable, a degenerate, a reprobate, or one of those pathetic, toxic people, and you will be allowed in straight away. Well, there are no questions to answer, but you just need to... And I can see this comment down here. Karen Van Ness has written LOL 6809. Not saying that that is the woman who is in question here, but she's written LOL, and she's also put 6809. So methinks it may be her. And somebody has written here, Max Saints, thumbs up. And I did, what did I write up here the other day? Smash. Here we go. Like the smash button, everyone. Getting all the little things back. All the little things. And to all the people, I've got a special one for you. The people who have been asking about who is Nida. And I will show you who Nida is, because that's important to at least get our bearings right. So smash that, like that smash button. I don't know what it is. So let's have a look at, we need to get into Trump. We have to have a look at what Trump had posted. And this is just a post. I'm not responsible for it, but we need to watch it. It goes on for about a minute and a half. And let me give you the backstory. You know how you doom scroll? You get onto your iPhone, your iPad, whatever, and you doom scroll. But if you don't doom scroll and you watch something and you watch that for a little while and all of a sudden it goes on to the next video, well, what has happened is somebody has done that, and then Trump had saw it, and what he decided to do is that he grabbed that whole thing and he posted on his X account, or no, he dumped it on his Truth Social account, and he's just let it play. But for those who haven't seen it, I think it's hilarious. Let's have a look at what he had posted. Bang.
Initiated by a court order, the Michigan investigation team obtained forensic access to a DS-200 tabulator, the machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data. Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, the mini machines, ES&S machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead.
Here it comes
when
in 10 seconds.
reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
You got to admit, that is a little bit too funny. That is just a little bit too funny that somebody had posted, and you could see right at the end that it had that it had scrolled up to the next video. And if you haven't seen it, you saw it here first. It's a bit funny. And Karen just wrote up there, she doesn't want to be Karen anymore. you just have to. Well, try Gerald. Gerald. That's got to be one of the worst names in the world. Sorry, Dad, but why Gerald? I know you didn't call me Gerald, you call me Gerald. So from now on, I would like to be known as Gerald. Okay, so it's a hard G. That sounds a lot better. That sounds sexy, actually. What's your name? My name is Gerald. In fact, I saw something the other week on Instagram. There's this guy called Gerald. I'm going to see if I can find him. And I'm going to put him up next week because it's hilarious. All right. Are you confused with when I said earlier on, I said, oh, just don't forget next weekend is the gay and lesbian Mardi Gras. I don't know why it's not called the LGBTQ ABCD RSVP Mardi Gras, but there is the gay and lesbian Mardi Gras on next weekend. Are you a little bit confused about when next weekend is? Let's have a listen to this video here, and we need, maybe I need your comments. I do. I get lost if I don't have your comments, so please show me your comments.
Next weekend is the weekend after the coming weekend.
No, but when...
The coming weekend is this weekend. And then the weekend after that is the next weekend.
So we're Tuesday right now. If I said to you, next weekend, we're going to get together, when is that?
That's the weekend after this weekend.
No.
Yes.
Yes, Jan. You're showing up, and I'm showing up this weekend.
No. Why did you just call it this weekend? Why did you call it this weekend?
I think they're both the same word.
No. I think they're both. You just called it this weekend.
Next weekend is the next approaching weekend.
Do you understand how you're trying to have it both ways?
I like that. Do you understand how you're trying to have it both ways? It's not mutually exclusive. You can have next weekend and this weekend. So with me, it's very similar to toilet seat up, toilet seat down, toilet paper round this way. So it's a P, or it's that way, or it's a Q. It's way too hard. It's way too... If these are the things that bother you in your life, you better seek some help. So next week, I don't know, I found it. And it just makes me think, when we start getting a whole bunch of cackling people like that on a radio show, it just doesn't make any sense. I did talk about quickly Billie Eilish. We need to have a look at the original, or what you think was the original video. I'll only show about 20 seconds of this, not even. I don't want to show you the whole lot, but I do have the original video of what Billie Eilish actually said. Let's have a listen to what she said. I think it was at the Grammys, if anyone ever watches that anymore. So let's have a listen.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep...
There's a lot of feeling going on. I feel hopeful, and I feel... Remember the old adage, which is, facts don't care about your feelings? So here's the fact. Let's have a listen to what she actually said, and I'm hoping that the people who have dubbed that one over get sued for that. But here's the original.
We should totally deport all these illegals, you guys.
pathetic guy standing next to her.
And I just want to thank President Trump and his whole team at the White House. You guys totally rock. I think you should just stay. I mean, we don't even need elections anymore. Just stay in the White House forever and just keep making America great again. You know, fuck the Democrats. They're all retards anyway. Especially Chucky Schumer and Crazy Nancy. Thank you.
Chucky Schumer and Crazy Nancy. So you only see it here first. You know when you play a song and the song imitates life or life imitates the song? There isn't a person that would be here watching this where you are currently... yeah, all right, I'm coming. Carl just asked to join Waffles and Whiskey. Can you wait till the end of the show, for crying out loud? So I guess, what was I saying? There's a plane going on overhead. There's so many things, I'm distracted. Oh, look, a squirrel. So there's not a single person that's sitting in front of me right now when you're in your car and you hear a song and you just think, wow, I love this song, and you start singing to it. Well, this song couldn't have imitated this clip any more perfect. Check this out.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
I love it how she still has time to maybe, had an accident, this will be great, this is good, I'll put this up on Instagram, no problem because I'm an influencer, but let me reach over and just turn it off. Not, oh, am I all right? Am my vitals still good? Am I still surviving? So I think there's just way too much of that. You know what I say about people like that? Here's my favourite line. Only some people will remember this. For those people who have been asking me the whole week, both of you, who is Nida and why are we chewing Nida? So Nida is my favourite girl. So we need to get into the main story because we've got a guest coming on at 10:30. Hopefully we will talk more about this. So let's listen to this and let me give you some exhibits of female behaviour and male behaviour and maybe why we have turned into who we are and maybe the reason. So listen to this. Let me see your comments. I'll put them up as we are watching this. But please be aware. This is triggering.
This is an honest question for the men. What happens to you guys to make you so unhinged, angry, dangerous, power hungry, control starved, small ego pieces of shits? And I know that sounds harsh, but there's examples of that all around us every day, nonstop. Now, I know there are some decent guys out there. I do understand that. I know some of them. But I'm just flabbergasted by the turnout of the male population and how damaging you all are. So think back to childhood, adulthood, adolescence, environment, how you were parented. What went wrong? What are those defining moments that you might be able to think of that turned you into the monsters that a lot of you are?
Criticizing Israel isn't
Isn't it interesting? Because I was doom scrolling, and when you start to think that I saw this, and then the next video that came up was, talk to me guys, what happened to you? And then he comes up, it kind of answers the question of how AI is working, because maybe AI might be a little bit on our side because that is what came up next. I should have played that whole clip because that was abominable. I can't even say that word. So Sony Cams has written, so let's read your comments and then we'll get into it. Many do not have a dad, no male role model. It could be true. Karen says, really? Could it be because of people like her? Look in the mirror and then ask that again. This one says, we are a group, must be on the same algorithm. We as a group must be on the same algorithm. And right, Cam Z 4576. As if there aren't monster women out there, yes, who are preying on our children as we now see it. So the trend is now starting to turn to it. We're seeing that there are a lot of women who are preying on younger children in the school place. So you want to know what happened to us. And it's a fair question. So let's have a look at maybe Exhibit A as to what do you think may have happened to a lot of people like us?
I eat, I have a meal prep, an assistant, a train, like I have all the things that a thin person has, and just because I'm not thin appearing means it's less valuable or it's not healthy. And in reality, it's completely healthy. I'm more healthy than the average thin person.
So, you see, you have to admit that's a little delusion. You have to admit that's a little delusional. When somebody will sit there and say, you have to admit I'm probably healthier than a lot of you people sitting there. I don't know where that thought comes in. And I think what it is that we're starting to get, some people who may think that this fat shaming thing in the past was a bad thing and we should stop all that. And I think you're right. I don't think we should be fat shaming or, black shaming or racist shaming anyone. I don't think we should be doing any of that. However, when you start to publish something that you know is factually incorrect, and you know that there's an unhealthy body weight, and you know that you're going to be on a screen where people will be viewing you and making judgments of you, you can't seriously think that that is okay. But if you do think that is okay, or you may be a larger person and say, look, I want to do something, but I'm unable, I've got the inability to be able to do that. My guest has just messaged me and she's probably saying something. Let me just give it 2 seconds. She's probably saying something. I can't get on. I don't know where the buttons are. I don't know how to do it. I'll have to check it while we're watching the next clip. So let's have a look at Exhibit B. I think if we look at Exhibit B, it'll give us another understanding as to why have men turned out like that, because we just want you to be honest. We want you to be fair. We want you not to be toxic. We want you to love yourself for who you are, but not make excuses as to what you think you should be like, because the whole world will be rallying around you. There isn't a single thinner person that would be rallying around her that says that that is a good statement to make. But there would be a lot of larger women who would be saying, you go girl, you go girl. And I would love to have seen the expressions, the micro expressions of all the people that may be sitting next to her. Let's have a look at Exhibit B.
What is this? Huh? What is this? Is this ice? Are you an ice piece of shit? Is that what you are? Are you some ice piece of shit?
Yeah, again, when you start to think about, why are people behaving in this way? Now, look, let me make it straight here. Men do the same things. But the question wasn't aimed at a woman. The question was aimed at men. The question was, why? What happened to you? And for her to simply jump on, turn the screen on, get in front of the camera, start to take her parka off, and then look into the camera and then post what she had said, there's an underlying toxicity about that person there. She's clearly had a bad life somewhere. She's clearly been, abused, mistreated. She's clearly had some negativity from men in her life. But to tar all men, and she does say in there, there are some nice men, but the nice men wouldn't hang around her because they would see how toxic she is. But again, if you have a look at something like that, why do men start to think, well, we're not on your page, love. That's just it. And as you get older and uglier like me, we just don't care anymore. You just don't. I mean, I'd like to hear it from a younger person. I know there's not younger people on here, but I'd like to hear it from a younger person. Somebody who's, 60. That would be cool. Exhibit C.
You can just kill ICE agents. You know that? You can just kill them. You don't have to hold your phone in their face and ask people when their birthday is.
See, even that comment there, how does someone, firstly, look like that and then make a blanket statement that says that you can unalive, kill someone? You just can. You can just do that. That's another reason why men are appalled by women, and you ask us what is wrong with us, I think maybe look in the mirror and see where the problem is, because that seems to be a huge problem for a lot of us. Let's have a look at Exhibit D. Again, we have a look at a whole bunch of women, and I don't know who, look, I don't know whether they're left, they're right, they're independent, whether they are from another country, but behavior like that doesn't serve men right. There couldn't be men out there, and I'm talking about the men of maybe today. But I want to make it maybe a little bit clearer on how the system does work. So if we were to have a look at post-war, we had some horrible times that were going. So during war, we had strong men, and strong men needed to defend their women, and they needed to defend their country. So we had strong, masculine men, and that's what was needed. We didn't need the soy boys of today to be fighting in a war. We just didn't. We needed a strong man. But as time grew, and as wars had started taking a back seat, when I'm talking about the wars, we're not talking about Afghanistan, we're not talking about the Vietnam War, we're not talking about the wars of today. We're talking more of the wars that were in the 1930s, the 40s. And of course, from after that, then came the uprise of the strong man, which is the Marlboro man. So then we hear in Australia, we had this guy called Albie Mangles. Do you ever remember Albie Mangles? I mean, that guy was the hero, he epitomized male fitness. And then what happened to Albie? I mean, I know he's still alive. I think there's a documentary on him. I think it is even called What Happened to Albie Mangles. And then you now walk into the 2000s and the 2010s and 2020s. We don't have hardship anymore. And there's that old saying, strong men create good times creates weak men create hard times create strong men. There's that. I get that. So we are in a good time where we've got a lot of weak men. And men aren't standing up. They're not protecting their woman anymore. And they should be protecting their women. They should be protecting themselves and protecting their families. But this last clip that I want to show you may epitomize why men are behaving. So if this woman wanted an answer, a very clear answer as to what happened, men, this is real. Now, whether it's a generated, something that's been generated, but I've seen similar things like this happen. So watch this final exhibit of women, and we may get a bit of an understanding.
All right, open your eyes.
What is this?
Turn around.
Babe, this isn't a Cadillac.
I bought it for you.
Are you messing with me right now?
No, you said this. You wanted an SUV for the family.
I said I wanted a Cadillac. This is not a Cadillac. Why would you spend money on? How much was this thing?
It was
a lot of money when you should have got a Cadillac.
This is very similar. I looked up stuff that's similar to the Cadillac.
Why would you try to surprise me with something similar when I asked you for a Cadillac? Can you return it?
I don't think it works like that. It's paid for, like it's.
I mean, it's pretty, but it's not a Cadillac. I just wanted a Cadillac. That's what I asked for.
The pain in that man's voice, you can hear it. There she is. Oh, it's nice, but I wanted a Cadillac. Not thank you. I'm grateful for the hard work that you put in. And somebody has just written up in here, and I might just repost what you had said. And it's from Jake. Well said, Jake. Is just walk away, dude. And sometimes you might just have to. Lily Maisie says, oh my God, kind of thing. From Daffodil, g'day mate, how you going? Run, don't walk, boy, just run. Karen says this one again, we need more strong men. Most have not been able to work with me for years. Only Richard. Grow some balls, guys. Good one. And Zoe, I've just checked. Zoe, you are on. But as soon as I get to finish this, we only got a couple of more things to show, and then I'll get you on. And maybe you can comment on that. And also comment, Zoe, on your post that you put up with regards to the soy latte drinking? Where are all the men with their lack of testosterone or testosterone? Well, I wanted and are grateful. Spell, people. People, I cannot read your Chinese writing. Well, I wanted and are grateful wife. Say nobody gets what they want. Oh, ouch. That hurt. Bearcat is a poo-poo head. True. Eject. And that's, yes, too true. So let's have a look. Oh, wait, there's one more here. What does this one say? From the Republic Hot, Alberta. Men need to choose based on character, not just looks. Good point. Men need to stop being so superficial. And I think you're right there. So let's have a look at some of the exhibits of what has happened to men over the times. So if we have a look at this exhibit here, this was a man in the times of men. So we're thinking this is maybe 1920s, 1930s, and this is now a man in the 2000s. Again, I don't have a problem with, whether you're, LGBTQ, A, B, C, D, RSVP. I do not care. You're not in my world. You do not hang with me. But I would much rather, given a choice, hang with the person on the left-hand side. Let's have a look at the next exhibit there. So 1920s, men dressed up in suits, all wearing their lovely hats. We remember that time. Maybe a bit overdone. We don't do that. Here in Queensland, you don't have to don a tie anymore. But now we look at this one in 2022. And of course, we've got the gay, lesbian Mardi Gras coming up. This person on the right-hand side will be attending that. The people on the left-hand side will not be attending it. The third one there is that we have again, is that Cary Grant? I think it could be. Cary Grant, and then on the man on the right-hand side, down the catwalk, we have this. Again, I don't care. But we're looking at about the what do we call it? The emancipation of the men. Where we are demasculating. We are demasculating. We're emasculating them. That's what we're doing. Jesus, get your words right. Third option here. Remember that back in the 70s, the 60s, we rode motorbikes. But what are we riding now? Electric scooters. That's what we got down to. That is what happened. I don't know, look, it's a great form of transport. But if you have a look at where we are and what we're doing, it's massively different. Again, men in the 80s and men in the 2020s. Two more to go. We have easy makeup for men. Since when do men wear makeup? If you are on TV, you'll be wearing makeup. I get that because apparently the lights will shine and you'll get this big glow that comes off you. So of course, makeup is good. But why do men start now wearing makeup? And again, it's because we have emasculated them. It's because a woman like that will now think, oh, well, for me to be more likable to women, I must dress like a woman. And then the last one here, Debbie, a trans woman, says that she is sick and tired of men wolf whistling at her when she goes shopping. I doubt that very much, Debbie. I don't think men are wolf whistling. And again, that is a lie because we know men don't do that. So I want to introduce to you now our guest. Let me just check to see if she is on. She is, and please, can somebody also write something like, no sound, I can't hear you. And I want to make sure that it all happens. So we'll go into here first. I need to check some settings. It is, people, will you please there's a fly in here. Will you please put your hands together? Don't do that. Put your hands together for Zoe. Hey Zoe, how you going? Oh, can you move to the other side? Which way? This way. That way. No. Other way. More. A little bit more. That's it. Well, welcome, Zoe. How you going? How's your fitness going? Yeah, really good. Yeah? I see you training hard. Good. Somebody just said very quiet. Let me just, somebody said can barely hear her, can't hear her. Hang on, no, that's me, that's me. Stay at your end. Somebody says no sound. I've just hit the sound on. Maybe give me a, hi, Gerald, can you hear me?
Hey, Gerald. Hey, Geraldine.
Oh,
How you
ouch,
doing?
ouch. Sound is terrible. Better. Here we go. Better. OCD. I can't lip read. Okay now. Thank you. Flying Dutchman says okay now. Can hear now. She's there. She's
Great.
better. Okay, good. Now that we're on, Zoe, welcome.
Good.
You wrote something up on a Facebook post the other day, and I replied to it. It had something to do with I can't recall now, but it had something to do with soy latte, and they're lacking in testosterone. Was that the kind of post that you put up?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was about we need to stop men having soy in their coffees because it's actually has an impact on lowering their testosterone. And low testosterone in men means they're easy to control, manipulate. And actually, when you have a look at a lot of the pedophiles, they also have very low testosterone.
Why did you write that post though?
we-
Did something happen? Were you at a bar or something and somebody had to hi?
No,
No?
no. I mean, it's nothing new that I haven't said. I just wanted to drop little seeds so then people can start to, oh, hang on a minute. I'm having soy in my coffee. Do I really want to have low testosterone? I'd say most men, no, probably not, unless you're wanting to become a woman. And even for women, like you need to have a healthy level of testosterone in your body.
So talk to me about some of the clips. I don't know whether you were on, but did you see some of those clips that were on, and the original woman that came on?
I did see them, but I couldn't hear any of them.
Okay.
But I could pick up the gist of it. Like I could pick up the gist of it. Which one do you want me to comment on? All of them?
I think the question really was at the beginning, and I put on the channel itself is, what happened to men? Like really, what happened to men? What do you think has happened to men over the years? Why have we started to change? We even censor our own speech sometimes because we don't want to offend a woman that's in our presence. But I'm finding more and more that we're becoming less men and we're becoming more feminine. Do you think that's a good thing? And I just want to know what your viewpoint is as a woman.
So no, I don't think it's a good thing at all. We need men to be men, and having two boys, I think it's really important for them to not only express their truth of what they want to say, but not be cut down. And when they speak, that women actually listen. So what I feel is we've had this diluting of the masculine and this false taking the feminine, or I should say the distorted part of the feminine. Let's take them to the top. And I'm not saying women shouldn't be successful. I'm not saying that. So if anyone thinks I'm saying that, I think it's we have the whole, diversity, equality, inclusion, all of these agendas that have been playing out, which at the end of the day, equality is an inside job. Who's the best one for the job? It has nothing to do with if you're male or female. So I feel we've had all these agendas going out in society of emasculating men, of when men do speak up, and you see it on talk shows, they get cut down, and you've got these women that feel that they're being empowered. And I've talked about this on years ago, and I remember almost, I'm going to mention her name actually. Clementine Ford is a big one for it. Very, very, the whole feminist movement has gone so wonky, so far the other way. It's all about making men the enemy, making him wrong. And this, it's now our turn to go to the top because we're the feminine. And that's absolute nonsense. It's, it's about finding that balance in yourself, about having a healthy masculine and feminine in yourself, because we are both. We have both as an energy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I want to talk about also, you live in an area, I won't mention the area, but you live in an area that I think has got a very high gay population. And I think we were talking the other week where you came off a train station, and I had said to you, hey, I don't know if you've seen the news, but there's some protests going on, and you walked out and of that train station and you noticed straight away that there was this protest. But that wasn't about men and women. That was about, country and country. again, about what flag we're going to raise here and, who we're going to support wherever.
Right.
But if you think about the area that you're living in, and this is where I'm probably coming from, is the area, although very hip and very progressive, you don't notice it as much when you're in the area. You notice it more on things like Instagram and Facebook, that people want to become more progressive, yet when they're living their own lives, is that they just go about their day. Because I'm thinking, by as much as I know about you, and I've known you for a while now, is that you don't mind who you speak to. It's got nothing to do, but it's got a lot to do with, how you're being treated as a woman. That would be one thing. And maybe how men actually treat themselves, because I don't feel men are treating themselves well. So what I want to ask is, do you think in the area that you live, which has got a very high population of maybe LGBT people, do you notice it as much as what you do on the social medias?
It's really hard to say, because I've, a lot of my friends think that I'm progressive. I mean, I am, but I have my own values of what I stand in. I really don't care what people want to wear or what they do or their sexual orientation, but don't push it on me. Don't push it on me. Be comfortable in your own skin, whatever you want to do, but don't expect everyone else to change around you. I live in an area which I've realized is so woke, and that sort of came up with the whole pandemic, realizing I was the only one walking around in the community without a mask. Everyone else was following orders. So I guess we've got a lot of people, and I'm going to say we have a lot of weak people in society that aren't able. They're very easy to control, very easy to manipulate. So these are all agendas that have been fed into society, not only to confuse people, but also keep people distracted from what their true essence is. Does that make sense? So, I mean, I was in Newtown, and, there's a lot of really weird people there. But then, even at my son's birthday party last night, I can chat to people, but I always know I'm going to be seen as weird. Even when I'm like, I feel like I'm pretty, I don't like the normal turn. People will go, no, you're really weird and you're different. Because I stand in my truth and I speak what I want to say without any fear how it's going to be received. I don't even know if that's answering your question. So there's a lot of really weird people, but I really don't care. I don't have to. I've seen people walk through the community here they always wear like a little tiara, and, and they'll wear their certain dress up, but it really doesn't bother me. I'm just not going to jump into using their pronouns. I'll use someone's name out of respect.
You sound like the female version of Jordan Peterson. You'll respect that they have their pronouns, but they can't force you to call them a she, her, him, her, they, them. I'll just put up, I can't put up the comments. I'll read out a couple of comments that people are saying here. You can read them later. Okay. But some people are saying things like, Stoney says, good for you, girl. Lily Maisie says, exactly. Lily Maisie also says, same for me. I like her. Somebody says, I like her. Good for you, girl. And then somebody writes, the responsibility of men and women are clearly defined in the Bible to keep society healthy. Very good. I think that's right. Don't shove somebody wrote here, I don't think it's aimed at you. It says, don't shove your crap on me. I want to be left alone. I think you're right. Yes, I don't care. Yep. And I think that's what what we all are writing. And then
no one cares, but they want attention. They want attention. That's the thing. It's there of the specialness of, because that's what's being fed into. And you look at social media, wokeism, or the more outrageous, the more distorted someone put, all these piercings all through, and I have piercings, so I really don't care, but to get attention. But they've been lured into this false sense of that gets attention, but they have these really unstable, it's mental instability. There's a lot of mental instability. And I think now we're starting to see more and more of that in society. And these people that have taken these people to the top really don't care about them. It's all to have an agenda to lead to transhumanism, transhumanization, of less people wanting to have families, to have children. It's all interwoven in a really sick agenda, I feel.
You see, there's so much that's been coming out in the media now. Of course, with the Epstein files, I think about 3 million, separate pages have been dropped. And I opened the show with something similar that, it's absolutely abhorrent, disgusting. No one's been held to account. There's not one single person that has now been convicted of a crime. This is a horrible crime. I watched a little documentary last night about Little St. James. I think Epstein called it Little St. Jeff. And the island was bought by some billionaire for about $60 million. Nothing's been done with the island. He was going to turn it into a hotel. I don't know who would visit that hotel. Maybe it would be out of pure curiosity just to go there and say, I've been on Epstein Island, so hey, indict me as well. But do you have any thoughts about that whole Epstein file thing? I mean, it is being bombarded through every social media post. There's YouTube videos, Rumble videos that show so many horrible things that have happened. And really, we've had Virginia Giuffre, who took her own life, or did she? And then we've got Prince Andrew, who's been excommunicated and ostracized from the royal family. And the only other person is Ghislaine Maxwell, who's been thrown into prison, which is really a holiday camp, which really there is no conviction there. And yet with all the people that have been named and shamed, and we can unredact all those files, not one person has stood trial for their actions, and they are the untouchable. Yet I speed 5 kilometers over the limit, and I am the worst person in the world, and I'll get my license revoked for a very long time. Do you have any thoughts? We've got about 4 minutes left. 5 minutes. No, we've got 8 minutes left. Do you have any thoughts that you would like to comment on? Or you would say, that's another day, go and get someone else who would like to come on and talk about that?
No, I'm quite happy to. I've known about it for years. I mean, I've known all the shit fuckery that's going on for over 2 decades. I don't know, maybe 3, a long, long time. So it's a little bit like an echo chamber now. It's been very frustrating. It's felt like a long haul, this coming out, and now finally it's coming out. The other side of the emails are now coming out, which is great. And again, it's the tip of the iceberg. I mean, the real thing is the child trafficking and the human trafficking is the biggest virus on the planet. And I think there does need to be accountability. I think certain people have been dealt with, or they've been offered a deal. And I think there's a lot of things playing out with the whole to and fro that Trump and Elon acted out, pretending to be enemies, because of, and then going, oh, Trump could be in the Epstein files, which has been great, because then the left goes, ooh, we hate Trump. They've got Trump derangement syndrome. Now they're interested in seeing this bigger virus that is so interwoven with MK Ultra, everything. Australia is a big player in that as well. So it's the tip of the iceberg of stuff that's coming out. So now the lefties are starting to say, oh, wow, I'm interested in it because Trump is in here, not realizing that Trump and Epstein were enemies of one another. And yes, they were in the same circles because they were businessmen, but he wasn't actually there. So I do feel there is going to be accountability. I do feel things are going to come out more and more. Can society deal with everything like super fast? And then what I notice in society is with people, when things like this are revealed, they're like, they just want blood. They want blood. They want to draw blood. Well, that's playing the exact game as that. So it's so interwoven. At the end of the day, you always have to, from supporting people through trauma, through supporting people through satanic ritual abuse of healing. It all has to come back to the individual. Each individual has to go on their healing journey, no matter what they've done. And we're witnessing this awakening of consciousness. More and more people are starting to see, oh, wow, maybe there's someone in my street, maybe there's someone next to me You know, it's revealing more and more how insidious and how many people not only may not follow through on those things, but actually look at, I posted a video the other day where it showed this, all the red dots of IP addresses that have been looking at sexually explicit content of 12-year-olds and younger. And it was huge. And it's such a huge insidious virus and as well, the cabal, the deep state, there, you know, all of that is crumbling. I mean, there's so much I can talk to you on this. But I think everything is coming to a head now. So yeah, it can be, if you're looking into it, dip into it, step away. If you need to cry, if you need to release, it's all part of your journey of going, oh my gosh, this has been going on for lifetimes. And now it's all coming up for the surface. And it's all around life force energy. It's all around manipulation, control, power.
Let's I mean, you and I could talk, and a lot of people could comment on this. What I'll do is I'll read a couple of comments out. There's a couple of things I want to finish off with. Yep. Somebody had written in here, it's don't forget about Sarah Ferguson. Another one wrote, nobody will be held accountable or responsible. Well, maybe one or two low-key people, maybe. Somebody else wrote, well, they made Alcatraz and Pompeii tourist attractions. Well, that's true about the island itself. And then this one here, if you assess the math behind 3.5 million files, reading every email in 1 minute alone, never sleeping, that will take 6.66 years to read. Interesting how it's a 666 years to read, so the math sort of like kind of added up itself. But what if we were to get 1 million people read one file each? That would only take a minute, and we all collaborate and then put up our own. And that's what I think is happening. People are putting up snippets, not so much reading the whole thing because it's way too much to absorb here. Somebody else wrote for someone's comment, actually no. I would like to go back and maybe read what that person had written. And then somebody wrote, very frightening what goes on. Yeah, it is very frightening what goes on in this world. 2030, you will have nothing and be happy. Apparently, that is what we're going to be doing. And then somebody else wrote here, I saw it earlier, is anyone sick and tired of the whole debate itself? I don't know if we're sick and tired of it, but I think we just want people to be held accountable. Now, Zoe, the only other thing I want to ask, and I only saw it in the comment earlier on, that I thought you had said something about Aphrodite, but then I look across and your T-shirt says Aphrodite. What's the significance of that?
Aphrodite is the goddess of love. Goddess of beauty, sorry.
The god of who?
It's just a T-shirt. It's the goddess of beauty. It's just a T-shirt I liked. Yeah, so I bought it ages ago. It's one of my oldest T-shirts.
Oh, thank you for wearing one of your oldest T-shirts to one of the most stylish shows in the world.
Can I just add something quickly? For those that are listening, it's really interesting. Have a look at the island Nassau, Nassau. I do feel Epstein Island is just the tip of the iceberg. I looked into this island. It's also in the Bahamas. I actually put in SpongeBob SquarePants address and it came up there. And then I screenshot all the names of the different places, and there's names like Sensational Pizza. Pizza's a code name for children. And there's some really sick names of restaurants, eateries, that it makes your skin crawl. So definitely, if you want to have a look at that, have a look at that. I do feel there's connections everywhere. And more stuff is going to come out. So at the end of the day, you are the one that creates change in the world. It's not about external power. It's about you remembering how to access that in yourself. So remember that, not to get drawn in too much that you feel completely drained, because then you're easy to control. It's all a game.
Zoe, I feel all spiritual now. I feel such a release is left off my shoulders now. I can relax and go out. Can everyone give Zoe a thumbs up, please? Just give us a thumbs up. And also, once we get off this channel here and it goes onto YouTube itself, maybe put your comments in there. I'd love to hear your comments with
Yeah.
regards to all this. Zoe will go back, read some of the comments. She can respond to that. Zoe, you go back in there and you will respond to anyone that has a beef about it. Maybe you can put your
Absolutely.
own thing on there. So thanks very much, Zoe. Thanks for
And
coming
I'm
on.
happy to talk more on this.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Bye. So let me just turn her off. So making sure that I'll remove her. She's been removed now. So if she speaks over the top, would be good. So we're about to finish up. Don't forget, if you want to email me, waffleswhiskey at gmail.com. And don't forget also, if you want to join the fake book page, which is the Waffles and Whiskey private group page, you can jump on there and you can become a unauthorized member because you're a deplorable, a degenerate. I'd love to know what your comments are. By the way, maybe, I don't know why, but last week's video got about 1,800 views, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. 24 hours later, it was about 1,200, so it's slowly starting to increase. Share this video. I don't know if you want to, but share this video wide, and that's all I have. Bye, everyone.
The things that make you happy, go do those things. Like right now. What are you waiting for? Go!